Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, After Hours Joy. Are you ready to start playing Ragnarok Origin Classic tomorrow? In this video, I'm going to share some important advice for F2P players and low spenders who want to compete with whales and high spenders. Do you believe an F2P player can beat a whale? I've seen it happen before. I've seen F2P players compete with high spenders and even beat them in PvP. And that didn't even happen in Ragnarok Origin Classic. It happened in Ragnarok Origin Global, a version where the spending gap was even more brutal. So what's the secret? That's what I'm going to break down in this video. But first, you need to understand something. What I'm about to share is not just a list of tips. These are principles. You either follow them seriously or you don't. There is no middle ground. This is going to be strict, brutally honest, and maybe a little painful to hear. Principle number 1. You do not have the privilege to invest in anything that does not guarantee progress. Avoid spending your resources on anything based on chance, gacha, or gambling if your goal is character progression. Forget about buying items that might help you progress. Focus only on items that definitely move your character forward. For example, refinement materials like Oridicon and Alunium. As an F2P or low spender, you should not be using your resources to gamble on those. Another example is mount equipment. At a certain level, you need to do a breakthrough to keep upgrading it, and that requires spending items to increase the success rate. In that situation, you should never attempt it unless the success chance is 100%. To make this easier to understand, I'll also show which items are worth buying and which ones should be avoided in different in-game shops. Now let me explain the math behind this. Let's say player A is a high spender and player B is an F2P player. On day 1, because of the difference in resources they have, their combat power looks like this. Now imagine player A spends 10,000 gold coins on Oridicon for refining, while player B spends the same 10,000 gold coins on feathers. Most likely, the gap will change like this. Every time player A fails a refine, there is no progress. But player B is buying something that directly adds permanent value to the character, so their CP increases right away. And that is only one example. Now think about how many progression decisions you make every single day. Can an F2P player eventually surpass a high spender? Yes, but the chance is small. A high spender who keeps making bad decisions and gets very unlucky over time can definitely be overtaken by a player like player B. Most high spenders will probably keep increasing the gap as time goes on. But if you follow this principle, at least you are catching up slowly but consistently, instead of falling behind like most other players. So yes, be like player B. As an F2P player, you cannot play the game the normal way and expect to compete with high spenders. You do not have that privilege. Accept that fact. Principle number 2. You do not have the privilege to switch jobs whenever you want. Choose one favorite job from the very beginning and stick with it forever. Let's say all your early resources were built around a knight, and then suddenly you decide to switch to hunter. A lot of things will need to be reset, changed, or replaced. For example, maybe your feathers were built around STR, and now you need Dex instead. Your equipment may also need to be adjusted. That means resources are being wasted. You might ask, what if I switch to a job with similar stats? Even then, you are still wasting part of the progress you already built, even if it's only a little. And if you want to compete with high spenders, you do not have the privilege to waste resources like that. Accept that fact. Principle number 3. You do not have the privilege to skip even the smallest rewards. Every daily event matters. Every little reward matters. For an F2P player, nothing is too small. Why? Because if you want to keep closing the power gap between you and high spenders, you need to collect progress as consistently as possible without wasting opportunities. High spenders have the privilege to ignore small rewards. They can focus on bigger and faster rewards because they can support their progress with real money. Most high spenders do not want to spend extra time or effort chasing tiny rewards. Their mindset is simple. Why should I run around the city collecting small amounts of gold coins when I can get much more by spending real money? So while high spenders focus on larger rewards with higher competition and bigger risks, you should focus on every small reward that is guaranteed. Again, you cannot afford to ignore small rewards. You do not have that privilege. Accept that fact. That's all I wanted to share in this video. I hope this helps you. Don't forget to like and subscribe so you don't miss my future videos. See you tomorrow in Ragnarok Origin Classic.